These meticulously crafted formulations draw from the rich wisdoms of Ayurveda, which is incorporating the natural ingredients and time tested techniques to support the body's natural healing abilities. And they live in Las Vegas. It's a vibrant city, as you all know. So these two guys offer their expertise to clients around the world through online consultations, and their compassionate guidance, comprehensive knowledge, and dedication to empowering individuals make Sundari to trusted partners in the pursuit of optimal health and well-being. Whether you are seeking personalized Ayurvedic advice or a transformative yoga instruction or a high quality Ayurvedic products, they all will be there, to guide us. And Food for the Soul is a destination where mind, body, and soul find nourishment and healing. And today we are going to cover the topic for yoga for preteens and women. So today we're gonna know some interesting things about Ayurveda, yoga, mind and soul happiness. And I request the president and executive committee to convey your wishes to Sundari and about this session.
Thank you, Deepti garu, for giving that great introduction, and welcome everyone. And every month మనం webinar చేస్తూనే పోతున్నాం, and it's getting more popular across NAPA, across USA and Canada. Thanks and keep it up, and all the best for the presenters. Thank you.
Thank you, President Garu, for your kind words. And we have Srinivas Tatipamula Garu. He's our past president for NAPA. So I request Srinivas Garu to give few words about our session today.
Thank you, Deepti garu. I think you're doing excellent job. I think overall web team is doing good. So I think, we thought of this for long, but Ajay and his efforts to roll off these efforts so smoothly, the web team has done good job. I think, I thank everyone. Plus Sundari garu is my cousin. So I sent my younger son to her a couple of years back for a class. So that's why I said, he benefited a lot with this program. And I want, all NAPA kids and other family members to benefit from the wellness program they are conducting. And a lot of fan following is there. They've already published a book on the cooking. So I would say, this is kind of a long-term association with her. We'll have more programs from her, maybe every couple of months or so. So with the current stressful times, I feel the change of lifestyle and the kind of effort and other things we focus on yoga is going to help everyone a lot. So it's not just the body, but mind and soul. That's where they focus on. So I would thank her for giving her time to join and educate us on this. Thank you, Sundari garu. Thank you, Deepti. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for the opportunity. It's wonderful to be here.
Thanks.
With this, I request Sundari garu to take over, and let's start the session.
Yes, once again, thank you to North American Padmashali associations to create this event. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here. And I would like to present a beautiful synergy of Ayurveda and yoga. Yoga, in a gentle way, we are going to experience something. And Ayurveda is a very familiar word and something that we grew with. And we, not actively, but passively have elements of Ayurveda adapted into our day-to-day life. But in this presentation, my goal and intention is to really bring you much closer, because just having a little bit of understanding on a deeper sense of how it applies to you on an individual basis is going to help you so much more to connect with yourself, with your physiology on a deeper sense of innate wisdom, and then how the healing happens. So this presentation will cater towards really bringing a good sense of community living. And when we are, it is so, I was actually very, very happy to know that there is something called NAPA, and it's, Padmashali community coming together. So when we build a community, all we need is we need some pillars. And if we need pillars, we need economic, we need the finances, but we also need health, consciousness, and character. So if as a community, we want to bring everybody together, they also have to be healthy together. So now coming and Padmashali families settled abroad here, Canada, UK, and UAE, if we all can also slowly coming together, not only coming together as a association, but also come together where we can also inspire each other to take care of our health and wellnesses. And nothing best than our origin coming from India is yoga and Ayurveda. So Dipti, I have the access that I can share the screen, right?
Yes, Sundari. Yes, you have. Yeah.
Okay. So I have some slides that I will share, and which will, the visual presentation will be very nice to go through as I speak and explain what I have to share. 1 second. So let me share the screen. Dipti, can you see the slides? Is it
Yes,
visible?
yes, Sundari. Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay, thank you. So here we are, and my intention.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. So my intention of this presentation, usually when I present in different platforms, I would say I'm going to introduce or let people understand these topics. But here I'm not introducing because I'm pretty sure everybody is aware of it. I'm just going to remind all our Padmashali community to remind and get a tap a little bit deep into these beautiful sciences, but in a much more systematic way, and it will be much more easier to apply. So the goal of today's presentation, I am going to share a little bit of understanding of Ayurveda, dosha, which refers to 3 principles of Ayurveda. We will go into the next slides, how it applies to me. And then Ayurveda is a very sophisticated, individualized approach. So what is meant for you is not going to be the same for others. Like when we, there is in modern medicine, one medicine is applied to everybody. In Ayurveda, they tap into your deeper prakriti, and the treatment is very sophisticated and individualized approach. So we will understand just a little bit into it. And then second is, usually people think Ayurveda is just about medicine. It is not medicine. It's a system of wisdom. And here the healing is completely a very conscious, it's a very consciousness-based journey. And of course, yoga, in the terms of the practices we will have today, you will understand that yoga is an inner journey. We are living a very external, dynamic, super active lifestyle in the modern world. And before we wake up, we are ready to work, and the plan to again work for the next day is already set in task. But what we really miss is we are missing the fact that we are not connecting to our inner self. We don't tap into that deeper inner wisdom, and we don't really pay attention to our health. And especially yesterday, I was meeting some of the wonderful Indian community gathering, and 2 ladies came to me and she asked me why in our Indian communities, because I was the only one who was as an occupational occupation was teaching yoga and into all this. She's like, why our communities, we originate from India, but why are we laid back about these topics? And I told her that, we, coming from India, we are uprooted and we are re-establishing our lives in a different country, in a different scenario, and we work very hard. And if each one of you must be working so hard to make your foundation in the foreign countries and to begin your life and re-establish and have a family. So health becomes the least important until you have some serious issues. And that's the reason that you're so busy working hard and you forget this factor. So yoga is an inner journey. And she's like, yes, this does make sense. We come because we are establishing in a new place. So yoga I'll be explaining that how yoga is a beautiful inner journey. And then through the practice, a little bit about the benefits, which are not just on the physical level, it's on a deeper sense. Then we will have a good conclusion, which in the end, I would like everybody to share a few words on how they're feeling, and definitely question and answer in the end. So what is Ayurveda? So let's remind ourselves, we know it is a system of beautiful medicine and wisdom that originated in India 5,000 years ago. The term Ayurveda is a combination of two words. Ayur means life and span of life, and Veda basically means the knowledge and the science of it put together. Ayurveda is the science of life and our knowledge of life. Here are some beautiful common herbs. And first, the foundation. I'm sure everybody listens Ayurveda, like, okay, and in Ayurveda, medicines use chestunnanu, and akada treatment kosamellanu, and Manako, we don't have the depth of it. We are on a superficial level. But what if I bring you to the roots of it, and then ide koncham matram knowledge on a regular basis, where if I explain you and if I tell you that there is a very systematic way that how you're connected to nature, and there is a deep systematic way that how the nature is glorified, and how every aspect of the elements, the Pancha Mahabhutas, ether, air, fire, water, and earth, these Pancha Mahabhutas are part of every aspect in the nature and the universe, and also every individual atom, every individual human being's body, seeing the smallest, youngest baby in your house to the eldest member in your family. We all constitute this Pancha Mahabhutas, and there is a systematic way that how they affect our overall physiology. So these are the 5 elements at the beginning of the creation: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. So the first in the creation, the ether, the space. So where there is space, the air can travel, and where there is air, the fire can take place, and where there is fire, definitely condensation, water is there. When all 4 elements, they will ground into earth. So when there is earth, all the other 4 elements are there. So this is just the first foundation, that you understand that these are the 5 Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 elements, and now they are also present within your body. Like, for example, when you feel hungry, you feel some warmth in your stomach, and people who are elementally very high in pitta, they feel like a burning fire. It's like really feel hot in their stomach. Now, you don't see a physical fire within your body, but you see the qualities of it. So that elemental factor of hunger and fire is coming from the universal aspect of fire element. And then, of course, the modern science has already proved, I'm just sharing a few examples, that human bodies are 75 or 78% of our body is water. That's why when you go into the swimming pool and you just put a little effort and then you straighten up your back, there you are floating. Why are you floating? Because, major part of your physiology is water. So this was just few examples to connect to the Pancha Mahabhutas, that how these elements are really not only grossly, subtly present within your physiology. And the more you understand their nature and function, you will be easily able to draw some conclusions and change some simple diet and lifestyle adaptations, and you will create and curate some good healing. At the same time, you will also not provoke further disease and imbalances to happen. So here, sorry, this slide again. So there's one slide. One second, I'm missing it. Okay. So there are the three, one second, sorry, I have a slide over here. There's one very important slide. Just give me 1 second. There. So now here, the 5 elements, they further break down. And as we learned about the 5 elements, ether and air. So ether and air, they combine, the elements combine, and they become together, they form vata. And then the fire and water, these 2 elements combine and they form the pitta, the second governing principle. And kapha, water and earth combined together form the kapha element. So these 3 doshas, they are the inner intelligence of the body, and not just the body. The entire system of seasons, the phases of life, and also the aspects of stages of life, and also the cycles of the universe, everything is governed by these 3 intelligences of the nature, vata, pitta, and kapha. And if you can understand this particular gunas or the qualities of vata and how they are responsible in the functions of the body, pitta and its constitutions and how which part of the body it is affecting and forming, and kapha, just this basic knowledge of vata, pitta, and kapha is going to be very useful for you to understand and apply and make some changes. So doshas are 3, vata, pitta, and kapha. In their balanced state, they maintain the body. And when imbalanced, they afflict the body with imbalances, and those are the diseases. So in Charaka Samhita, Charaka Maharishi is explaining that these 3 governing principles, they by themselves as inner intelligence are constantly working in equilibrium to bring a balance within their physiology. As you as a human being has to cater to this function of the universal prime nature, you cater and give your body and mind what it needs, and the nature will take care and create the homeostasis and give you the balance, and that balance is health. So in Ayurveda, there is no disease, there is no labeling that you're asthmatic, you're cancer, you have tumor, or this. It is first, this is just the text of understanding the rishis and their work, where you understand that the balance is something which is defined as health and happiness. The second thing over here, the body of every living being is always the abode of vata, pitta, and kapha. And one should know if they are in natural state balance or unnatural state conditions, which will be forming different diseases. So here the Charaka Maharishi is explaining us that in Ayurveda, the happiness is defined as balance. You will never have in your life, you will never have same kind of emotion, same kind of season, same kind of food, same kind of weather. Everything is constantly changing. Your schedule, your work schedule, your life, your family life, your children, your household, your work. There is so much of dilemma, there is so much of things that you need to deal. But what is the best way to do it? is to balance it, to go with the plan, to go with the intention of doing one task at a time. That is the art of yoga. Art of yoga is to do, yoga is the art of work. That's the definition in Bhagavad Gita. So the art of work, when you align your breath, your intention, and your purpose to do the task, you are sure to accomplish the task. And this is what the scriptures are giving us. Scriptures are giving us all the tools, all the knowledge we need to lead a wonderful life. And what we do, we forget that, and we sometimes don't have that inspiration to do things and execute things, and we feel unbalanced, and we curate imbalances, and then we have diseases. So just a gist of this particular aspect of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And here, the three main functions of the three doshas. Now, I explained you Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and the elemental combination of these three governing principles. And now they have a beautiful function in the physiology. So Vata in your body is responsible for transportation, movement, and communication. Transportation of what? Oxygen, nutrition, and all the traveling, the message, your cognitive health, the brain sends the message. I have a glass in front of me and I want to lift it and drink it. So the first, I am feeling thirsty, my brain is telling me the glass is in front of you, sending the motor skills instructions, letting my fingers grab the glass, and then I drink the water. Transportation, this is transportation, and this is governed by Vata. And movement and communication. Communication is a great skill. When we are communicating, there are so many neurotransformations happening right now in my brain and in your brain, for me to speak, for you to hear, for me to align and be focused, to be being close to the topic and explaining things. I need to have my cognition of my intention, my topic, and my senses, my brain, my thought, my tongue, everything to coordinate together. Now, when we have issues with nutrition deficiency, we have cracking joints, we have inflammation, stiffness within the body, and then we have issues with communicating. I have something within my mind, I have to tell this to my husband, I have to tell this to my wife, or I have to communicate this with my boss, but I'm somehow not having the ability to voice myself or bring that up. Now that is a Vata imbalance, and especially the Vata that is related to Samana, Vyana Vata, which is something which is located around the throat and the system of your upper respiratory. So then those vocals, there is a little dysfunction or a lack of connection in your physiology that is blocking this beautiful shrotas, the neurotransmitters, the energy carrying channels, and they are blocked. So Ayurveda gives you a beautiful treatment and gives you a fundamental understanding of which element is not functioning, or you're not catering, or your diet and lifestyle is Vata provoking. You are eating something which is very heavy in Vata, or you're doing something and you're maybe having today's phone, iPhones and screen, you are jumping from one topic to another, and you're sitting stationary in one place, and you are meant to move. So there you create a lot of air in the ether space, because where there is empty. So when you become stationary, you create a lot of imbalances, and then we have issues with our fingers, our joints, and our shoulders, and everything pains, because we locked the movement, we locked the function of Vata to circulate in throughout the body. So now that is a Vata imbalance. And now Pitta. So despite, even if you don't know what is your Prakriti, just by understanding the functions of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, you'll be able to understand, okay, now I can address some of my health issues, and maybe I need to change something so I can heal from this. You don't always need to pop up painkillers. You need to just make some changes, and that is going to help you. Pitta dosha, digestion, metabolism, and transformation. So now what has to be transformed over here in digestion? When you eat, like for example, vitamin A is good for vision. You need vitamin A. If your vision is poor, then you're definitely lack in vitamin A. So, you get vitamin A from walnuts, you get vitamin A from carrots. Carrots is a very good source, not from the raw carrots, but the cooked carrots. So now when you eat the raw carrots, you eat the cooked carrots, the digestion, that is pitta, is responsible for that. Metabolism, the main digestive agni, then it will metabolize, and you throw up the waste. The waste is exited from the body, but the transformation has to happen. Now, this is such a super intelligence. You have a brain which has the intelligence to work, and the stomach is the second intelligence within your body. And the stomach, I mean, how would the stomach know that it has to travel the vitamin A to the sensory organs, especially to the eyes, for it to be able, for you to be able to see clearly? Transformation, pitta, the governing principle of the nature, is doing the transport mechanism, transformation in your physiology, and giving all the organs what they need. Did you decide this to happen? No, nature decided that for you to happen. So kapha dosha, your overall physical structure, you are lean, I'm very lean, I'm skinny, I am moderately structured, no, I am slightly overweight, I always tend to be 5 to 8 pounds excess than my BMI. And lubrication, the fluids in the joint, I am able to move my joints, my elbows and knees very freely. But my mother-in-law has a very severe knee stiffness. So what happened over there? The kapha, the juices, the fluids that creates the mobility and the fluidity of your movement, the kapha is drying out. And that is something that is kapha is responsible for. And then is your overall cohesion. So this is what kapha, pitta, and vata are responsible for your functions within the physiology, mental, emotional, spiritual, intellectual. They are all coordinating. And you didn't plan for this. You didn't make this happen. Nature is doing it for you. And the study of nature is what is Ayurveda. So if you study a little bit about nature and you study a little bit about yourself, you will really make some good conclusions, and you will be inspired to make some lifestyle changes to balance vata, pitta, and kapha, and then balance your life. Next. Okay, so as I was speaking in the previous slide, vata dosha and its functions are found mainly in the shrotas. What are the shrotas? The shrotas are the energy carrying channels within the body. And they transport. The shrotas are the nadis, the nervous system, the circulatory system. They all will come under the function of vata, because where there is ether, there is air, and where there is the air, there is the flow. So you have this beautiful system. So it is traveling and taking all the nutrition in different parts of the body. So that, remember, is vata. Pitta dosha and its functions are found mainly in the agnis. What is the agni? Agni is the digestion or the metabolic fire, the metabolic process of the body. Now, again, pitta, I could take 3 hours to explain how the 7 levels of digestion can happen, but we will stay on the surface and first connect with the nature and try to see how profound is this science of Ayurveda. And then kapha and its functions are found mainly in the dhatus, the tissues. You have what the different tissues we have. We have plasma, blood tissue, plasma tissue, blood tissue, bone marrow, fat, and adipose tissue. So there are so many tissues within our body, and those tissues and their function, they are in Ayurveda, they are classified as sapta dhatus. Dhatus means the elements in Ayurveda, but here dhatus, Ayurveda refers your 7 digestive tissues as dhatus because they are as profound as the beautiful elements. So that is why they call as the dhatus in Ayurveda. And that is the function of kapha within the physiology. Now let's get into, this slide is taken by EGA wellness website, and I felt like it really just brings down the complex. I did not want to take a lot of time. So now here is the Ayurvedic body type constitution. Now you understood the elements and their function. So whether you are, everybody has Vata, Pitta, Kapha in the physiology, but you are, your nature would be, you are dual Prakriti in your most predominant constitution of the body. So even before I read through that content, you can look at the body frames and kind of conclude something over here. So Vata individuals, they are predominantly their physiology. You can say this particular Prakriti that Ayurveda is explaining is something like your DNA. You were born with it. That's the elements, and that's the stars, that's the nature's process of giving you the physical features, the physiological aspects of your personality were Vata predominant, Pitta predominant, and Kapha predominant. So it is very important. We often are thinking we should know who we are. But who we are, who I am, is so profoundly explained in our text. So, even my name was given after 21 days of my birth. So who am I? As we tap into our beautiful sciences of understanding, here in Ayurveda, you will at least understand who am I in the sense, in my physical terms. I have a Prakriti, I have a nature, and I did not create, I did not make it. The nature made it for me, and this is the elements that I was predominantly born with. So Vata people, if you see Vata constituents, like the constitution of Vata, you are always dual, one predominant and one another subordinate. But the main feature, the physical construction of your presentation of your body represents your like a guess of I think my features attribute more towards Vata Prakriti, mostly thin, having a little dryness in the body, skin, and having the tendency to have little nervousness, anxious, quick, light, and sensitive sleeping, sensitive to cold, a very active mind, and very creative, adaptable, enthusiastic. So Vata people, there are most people who are into gymnastics and who do very good into different kinds of athletes, like also there's this beautiful dance and performances. So they're always very light in body. They're very light. And you'll also see some of your friends, your family members, somebody, I eat, even if I eat 1 grain of rice, it sticks to my body. And here my friend will eat a, whole bowl of, this big meal and nothing sticks to him. Why? Because that individual is predominant with Vata. So they have air and ether predominant in their physiology, which means they don't hold on to much of what goes inside them, because by nature, air and ether. So air doesn't, like, it will not, even if you will evaporate something into the air, it will soon become dry, because that's the nature. So those individuals will never gain too much weight, and they often tend to be a little undernutrition. So then Ayurveda will explain you, okay, you have to cater towards diet and lifestyle which has some kapha, which has some earth and water in it. So what would that be? You should favor squashes, you should favor almonds, you should favor barley, and all those things which will eliminate the dryness within your physiology, main importantly, and that thin and undernutrition structure of your digestion, because you need to eliminate, you need to balance the air and ether so that you don't be undernutrition. At the same time, you balance it out. So now that is just a little understanding of what Vata physiology would be seeming to be like, and what are the qualities that vata needs to favor in order to balance that vata and not have the air and ether prakriti to the elements to provoke and create further imbalances. Now pitta, they are medium built, they are hot, they are very athletic, they have also like prone to have how would I say, muscle inflammation. So now vata would not have a lot of muscle formation over there, but a pitta constitution would have some muscles, and they will be all, when the pitta is aggravated, they would also tend to have some muscle inflammation over there. And as we go further, I will get into more details about it. Hardworking, and they are, why are they irritable when they skip meals? Because the pitta as its governing principle is responsible for the digestive fire metabolism. So now you are predominant in that nature. Then what happens over there? You have that pitta which is brilliant or excess or more than you need. So the moment you skip a meal, hyperacidity, heartburn, or if you have irregular meals, because if a kapha has an irregular meal, they can still balance it. They will not have big digestive issues. But if a pitta individual is having an irregular meal, then you are going to create a lot more imbalances in your digestive system. And then if pitta provokes and stays and maintains for a long to be high and out of balance, then it creates heart health issues, and then it creates skin issues, and then liver. So if you have been diagnosed with any issues with the liver and skin, the first thing you go is tame your kapha. Tame your kapha by favoring, tame your pitta, my mistake. Tame your pitta, balance it by bringing in elements of kapha, bringing the water and earth, so that the fire will slowly come back to balance. And then slowly you will see the issues with liver, skin, and other heat related issues will slowly come down. Now, when you see about kapha, so kapha is water and earth. So this prakriti is stocky, well built, cold, steady, and very easily gaining weight, very easily. And kapha tends to be always a little bit overweight. Your BMI, whatever it is, you'll be 5 to 6 pounds a little more than what it should be. And this is your natural state. So this is how kapha works. Why? Because you have earth. So what does the earth do? Earth absorbs ether, air, fire, everything. So it takes everything, even water. So that's why you hold more. So that is kapha. And oops. One second. Clicked on a button. Yes, so that is kapha. And kapha people also tend to have, there's individuals where they are deeply connected to the emotions. So kapha has the individuals who can absorb. They will absorb a lot of emotions. They tend to hide how they're feeling. They have the grounds. They can absorb a lot. Pitta individuals, because there is fire and water, there is no earth. So there is that nature that they can have anger as one of their issue. They can have emotional outburst, one of the issues. And they can easily have some emotional imbalances going on because the pitta is high. And also one of the greatest difficulty for pitta individuals is when I speak to, there is a difficulty to forgive. You have a great you cannot forgive very easily because of the fiery consistency within the physiology. So there is this natures that you have an individual, and then vata people tend to be a little indecisive or having great difficulty to make decisions. They cannot make that decision. Why? Because air and ether, it is affecting their mental physiology, and because it's always moving and erratic, they are not able to make those decisions. So now you see how they are affecting the mind, the mental, physical, and emotional. So now you could be a kapha prakriti, but you have a vata imbalance. So this is what we do. The pathogenesis of disease and imbalances in Ayurveda is so profound. And actually, this is what fascinated me. This really fascinated me. And I felt this is something amazing and I want to learn the depth of it. So just when you read that these elements and these gunas, and then how you can match, yes, I can see that this is affecting the mind, this is affecting the digestion, this is affecting. So this is what is really profound about we did this. Okay, here. So we will get into the location of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So the main seat of Kapha is the chest, Uras in Ayurveda. Kapha is heavy, sticky in the qualities. So now all the respiratory issues, excessive mucus, excessive discharge, and all those things would come under Kapha imbalances. The area of the lungs, the head, it's very lubricated because of the main functions is respiration. Taking in cold, dry air from the environment, it has to be moistened and warmed. So there is very rich mucosa in this whole structure. So more kapha in the top part of the body and the chest and the head. So that's where the kapha remains. And then those who have sinusitis and all those issues, now you will see there is a change in the temperature right here. It is explained in the Ayurvedic text that those people will tend to have spike in the ENT health because the dryness of the air and environment. So whenever you migrate from one place to another, you tend to have respiratory issues based on your prakriti. And this is how we diagnose the pathogenesis and understand first identifying your prakriti and then seeing the symptoms and the geographical location you are. And then Ayurvedic textbook will give you the first hand explanation of what the symptoms are. And sometimes the clients, like, you will not even know exactly what your symptoms are, but the text will tell exactly what the further symptoms or the deeper symptoms are, and there will be other related symptoms along with it. So then Pitta, the main seat of Pitta is the small intestine, Amakshaya. Ama basically means toxins, the undigested metabolic waste. So now when we eat food, we don't digest, and then we are still feeling indigestion, and then we think, okay, it's time to have dinner, and we again have the dinner while the body is still struggling to digest. And then what is undigested, that becomes ama, that becomes toxins within the body. So the pitta shwaya, the ama shwaya, it is trying to exit those toxins, and you are loading the body again with the food, because superficially we think, I have to eat dinner because it is a dinner time. But Ayurveda says, no, if you feel you have indigestion, don't have that. Hydrate yourself well. Let the homeostasis happen. Let the body take out the excess ama and let it throw it out. And by giving, just like if the traffic is constantly flowing and there is an accident on the road and people are still driving, a big traffic jam, same thing, imagine your own body. And there is something which is blocked, some organ function which is not doing its job. Then if the traffic keeps flowing, if the food keeps flowing, it's going to make the situation worse. So best for pitta imbalances is to first address the digestive issue, and then understand the excess heat or the excess whatever in your ingredients of your food, and then remove the causative factors and replace with the healing detoxing diet. And that's how the liver, the shaya, and ama, and then the food will food will slowly exit the body the way it should, and like that you will create balance in the pitta within the physiology. The liver, the bottom third of the stomach, the first part of the small intestine, and the small the spleen, they are all red. Why? Because pitta is the main seat of digestion, and these are the main structure for digestion. So no matter whatever is your predominant prakriti, if you have digestive issues, you need to focus on the pitta imbalances. Is my food very oily? Is my food very spicy? Am I eating on wrong hours? What is the timing, the circadian rhythm for a good meal? It is between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Why? Because you coincide and you match your daily schedule with the cycle of the sun. So when the sun at noon, where is the sun? The position of the sun, it is 90 degrees, sorry, it is, yes, it is 90 degrees right above your head. And when the sun is the source of the pitta, the agni within the body, so when the sun comes above your head, your pitta, your fire is sharp, is also straight, facing upwards, waiting for the food to come. So if you eat within that time, because if you eat before 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the circadian rhythm hits the point of metabolism. So if you want to lose weight and gain strength, or even if you just want to gain nutrition, for vata, lack of nutrition, for pitta, excessive heat, and for kapha, who again tends to gain weight. Even if you can just follow one rule of Ayurveda, eat your major meal between 11 to 1 o'clock, and you will see that you will digest and metabolize. And of course, for pitta individual, reducing the heating oils and heating spices. For kapha, to have digestive spices like basil, little ginger, paprika, sorry, not this pipali and other herbs, so that, and black pepper, for you to have the good digestive effect. And for vata individual, because vata definitely tends to have a little undernutrition aspect of life, so they definitely need to take ghee as their regular part of the diet, because ghee is something which is going to hold the nutrition and let your body absorb. Why? Because the air and ether being predominant in your body, you exit the nutrition way before than vata and pitta. So the main seat of vata is the colon, Pakvashaya, that is colon in Ayurveda. And all those individuals who have issues with colon, constipation, hyperconstipation, nausea, and all the issues in large intestine, small intestine, to address the main issue would be the health of the colon. And Ayurveda has profound herbs and lifestyle that you can, because there is a modern saying, everything is in the gut. Everything is in the colon, actually. How healthy your gut bacteria. So that is where you really need to focus on balancing the vata, eliminating the dryness. If you have dryness in your skin, in your throat, your ENT, there is vata imbalance in the colon. So that is the Pakvashaya, and then you will focus on diets where you can tone the muscles of the colon, detox the colon, and also bring in that good function of the colon. So soaked raisins, soaked figs, overnight you soak them, you take them as first thing in the morning, and that will go deep into the intestines, large intestine, small intestine, large intestine, and then going through your digestive tract and then entering the colon. So what is your morning breakfast should be the most therapeutic things, because your morning determines the entire cycle of the day, of your digestion, metabolism, the action of the day, the execution of your mental, physical capacity. So if the morning is ruined with coffee and fried food and bread and all those things, you've already clogged the colon, you already clogged the digestive system. So whatever you put next is going to be blocked because there is a traffic jam. So first in the morning, Ayurvedic teas and Ayurvedic what do you call it? If you need the herbs, and then do therapeutics and nourishing items like soaked nuts, and especially in the summertime, you can also have some suitable fruits and things like that. So that determines your following day. And have a very good lunch, whatever you like to eat, have it as a very good part of your lunch. This slide is taken from my textbook. I am a student of masters at Maharishi International University, and this is a screenshot from my textbook. And Prakriti and Vikriti, we were talking in the previous slide, understanding the Prakriti and Vikriti. Prakriti itself, we understand it's the nature. Vikriti means the opposite. So we have a Prakriti, we have a body type, and then when we go against the will of the science of the nature that applies to us, we create Vikriti, we create imbalances. So these are the two concepts basic in the analysis, assessment, and application of Ayurveda is Prakriti and Vikriti. And its fundamental is to understanding how Ayurveda can help us. These two terms, these definitions and the application will determine how further you can apply Ayurveda on a very sophisticated individually approach. And the constitution, that is Prakriti, and while our Vikriti is the current state, basically, if you are trying to find out your imbalances, Ayurvedic physician like my Vaidyaji, my teachers, they say that you already have the Vikriti, and now we have to determine what they are. Then we see the imbalances. So that is just an introduction to the terms of Prakriti and the Vikriti. So now over here, that was, I think, good enough of Ayurvedic understanding of the functions of the governing principles of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and then matching it to the elements, and then drawing a little conclusion about how Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, the features of that physical structure, how it can apply to me. I think that might have helped you a lot to you might be already thinking in your head, looking at your features, looking at your body. Oh yeah, I can see, I am taming towards this, and I'm towards Kapha, I'm towards Vata. Now, one most important thing that this term, Prajna Aparadh, everybody should understand this. And it's not that Ayurveda wants to teach you, or it believes that you don't know something. Ayurveda believes that each individual, Prajna is basically referring to the knowledge, the intellect, as well as the wisdom within ourselves. We all are born with an innate wisdom, like even a small child. There is so many beautiful reels of children that they are made, and they are pretending that, the dad is trying to hit the mom, and the baby comes and stops. No, don't do this. Who taught the baby? Child is born with the wisdom, and the younger they are, the innocence and the purity they carry. So even when you were a child, you remember how pure your consciousness was. You knew what is right. You knew what is wise. Now you forgot that, right? So Ayurveda believes that innate wisdom is part of your healing journey. It's part of your personality, and it is part of your health. So aparadha, now don't, do you think one who is addicted to smoking doesn't know that smoking is hazardous to his health? His or her, they definitely know it, but what they chose to take the ride of their senses and decided to live for the pleasure of the tongue and the addiction, and leave the body to suffer, and they do suffer. So that is just an example of it. So now Ayurveda tells you that Prajna Aparadh literally translates into making a big offense. I would say directly it means crime. Okay, so you are performing, you are doing that mistake, and you're crossing the innate wisdom that you have. And then that aparad, that prajna aparad, you cross the innate wisdom, and then you will do it for a long time, and then you have disease, you manifest it. So disease is not created within the body first, it is first created within the mind. So Ayurveda, as part of my occupation, this is what really touches my heart, because I wish to I desire to encourage people to tap into this innate wisdom, prajna aparad. Come to your understanding, and come to yourself, inner wisdom that is constantly talking to you. And then, of course, this has a beautiful explanation if we refer to Bhagavad Gita and other beautiful text. But Ayurveda tells you to tap into this beautiful innate wisdom, and you will know what is right, what is wrong. I remember even as a child trying to fight or argue or doing something, and if I knew I did the mistake, I knew I had this deep inner voice, and I was like, yes. So we are forgetting our innate wisdom, and we are constantly making wrong decisions. If this is not good for me, or I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be eating this, I shouldn't be, being up in the night until 2 p.m. and you know what is good. So now tap into that prajna, and the more you follow your own inner wisdom, the inner wisdom will connect you to the universe and the nature, and then you experience health and happiness in a most profound way. And that is the purpose of all the acharyas and rishis, the work they did for us. Ayurveda, so many textbooks, they left it for us to follow. So let's take benefit of all this beautiful science coming as the origin, from India. So that is prajna aparad. So prajna awakens your inner wisdom, and this inner wisdom governs our conscience. And like that, when we connect with our inner self and we apply some basics of Ayurveda, so many chronic illnesses could just be treated, because they all are more on a mental, psychosomatic, and they are more the symptoms because of the excessive external dynamism in the life, that we are constantly externally active. We are planning the next month, but we are not planning. You should do it, you should be successful, you should make your career, and you should have a family and everything, but parallelly it is very important to connect with your inner self, the soul, and can be connected to your innate wisdom. And when you will reflect from that platform, your success is twice time greater, your happiness is twice time greater, and the deep level of satisfaction that you will have, because there is no inner anger and frustration, because you satisfied your level, you satisfied your intention and actions of life on emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and all the levels. You crossed all the boxes and you did your actions. So Ayurveda and yoga Ayurveda is just not a system of medicine, and yoga is not just mere exercise. It is a beautiful journey. And if whatever we do, whatever actions we perform, we have a task, we have a plan for our career, you have a plan for your children, you have some plans. So one of the big plans that I was teaching in the Yogi Teens program is like, they are so tender and they are so excited to know about the world, and they're going to be exposed to everything good and bad. But if they are also exposed to these beautiful sciences, then everything they absorb will be filtered through their wisdom, and then they will make the wise choices. So the greatest gift that we can give to each other as a community, with supporting each other in all different ways, but also bringing this aspect of culture, definitely the festivities and emotions and that community feeling, but at the same time bringing the aspect of yoga, Ayurveda, Bhagavad Gita and the spirituality, then it will be so strong that nothing can break it apart. And here, I think this, there was another slide over here. Just give me 1 second to change. Here. So now we'll have a good practice. I'm going to so it's time to practice. Since it is a timing which is in between of the day, so we will not be doing yoga. Yoga has 8 limbs: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Usually people feel yoga means just yoga exercise. No, there is so many limbs of yoga. So in the practice of yoga, we will do today is going to do some pranayama and mudra practices, and we will not be doing the asana feature of the practice. So basically yoga means to really unite, connect and come together. Yoga in Bhagavad Gita is also defined as yoga is the art of the work. You align your intention, your breath, your purpose, and you achieve the task. So here we will all sit together and practice a beautiful mudra aligning with the breath, and breath itself is so powerful. There's a text in yoga, it says that your breath alone can heal you provided you apply it. Okay, so in this today's session, my intention would be to let you really have a little glimpse of this power of breath. Okay, I'm going to pin myself. So we all are sitting in a position. Either you can sit crisscross, or you can sit like putting your legs down on the chair if you have some issues with the knees. And the first mudras, like we understood about the vata, pitta, kapha, and we understood the earth, water, fire, air, and ether elements. Now in the text, they are also present in the tip of your fingers. And this is something beautiful science. I learned it from my husband, the healing mudras. He wrote this book. So we will just apply some yogic mudras and the breathing. So the form of breathing, we are constantly 24 hours by 7, we are breathing passively. But we are going to experience active breathing. We are going to practice Ujjayi breath, which is you make a sound from your throat and you make your breath much more deeper and longer. So I want you, everybody, to take up to the Jnana Mudra, touching the index finger to the thumb. Very simple first one, so that we can practice the breathing deeply. And very gentle, no pressure, very gentle, just the touch. Okay, and then you're going to place your wrist, this region, on your knees. And then we take a deep breath. First, I will give the mechanism of it. So take a deep inhale. When you exhale, like whisper, you made a sound. You could hear the sound, right? Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale. Inhale. You hear the sound of the breath. Now close your lips. You're going to make the same sound with the throat, but the closed lips. Just like when we whisper, we are using the muscles of the throat. So while breathing, you're going to use the muscles of the throat. And it is natural for the beginning stages of practicing Ujjayi breath that you will feel it more while exhaling and less while inhaling. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Now you're going to apply this deep breath. We're going to do 3 mudras in about 3 to 5 minutes each. Now what you are practicing is the Jnana mudra. And in the yogic text, your index finger represents the air element. So this is air and the thumb is fire. So you're going to balance the air element within the body. So when you're going to keep this, and let's close your eyes and then just connect with the sound of the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now I'm going to release the Jnana Mudra and practicing the Hakini Mudra. The corresponding tip of the fingers, the 5 fingers, connects with the corresponding 5 fingers on the other hand. Now don't bend your fingers, don't close your palms. Keep them, just the tips. So this is a wonderful mudra, Hakini mudra. First we will practice and then during the explanation, I'll explain. So now if your elbows are up, relax your elbows, just keep your back straight. Close your eyes and again, deep breaths. And now the last one. Bring the left thumb out, close it with the 4 fingers. Shankha Mudra, making a conch. And then your other fingers comes up and then you touch over here. So you made a conch. If you look inside, it's a conch. Shankha Mudra, invoking auspiciousness. So you're going to place it in the center of the heart. Again, deep breaths. Creating auspiciousness on the deep conscious level. Enjoy your breaths. Hear the sound of the breath. Join your hands into Namaste. The Namaskara Mudra. A beautiful closing prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So this mudra, the Hakini mudra, here in the text, the yogic text, here is this image on the book and the elements on the tip of the fingers. So the thumb represents the fire element. The index finger represents the air element. The middle finger represents the ether element. And the ring finger represents the earth element. And the little finger represents the water element. So now, when we really have an intention to execute a task, we really need a balance of all the 5 elements. So this particular Hakini Mudra, it is very empowering. It is very balancing of all the Panchamahabhutas. But at the same time, it is very useful to awaken memory, the strength of your speech, and also like aspect of education. Like when I have to study and I have to study some text, Ayurvedic text, and it is very complicated and very hard, which means I need much more mental, spiritual focus. So this is the mudra that you can adapt. And you will, it's like changing gears. When you change the gears, the speed of the vehicle changes. So it's like bringing that elements into the active state within the physiology, and then these are working on energy levels, and then you see some transformation and improvement in your ability to do the task. And the last one we did was the Shankha Mudra. So when we want auspiciousness around us, what if, we don't have clarity, we are having impure thoughts, impure desires, and we are having a big event to have a puja and auspiciousness around us, but our own physiology is trapped within the Maya, within the aspects of the mental thoughts and impurities and impressions of memory, or a negative thought that happened. I cannot forget that incident, but I need to manifest auspiciousness. I really want to focus on the future or the aspect that I want to do. So this is a beautiful mudra, Shankha Mudra, conch. We blow a conch before we do any puja and arti. So this mudra is bringing that conch, bringing that auspiciousness on the physiological level by practicing the mudra. So yoga mudras are another beautiful science. They heal and they create a lot of happiness on the levels within the body, and they work on energies, and your tip of your fingers are great energy circuits within the body. And I think I just have a couple of more slides and that's it. So we did that, and here is the Yogi Teens program that Srinivas Anna was talking about, and I do this annually. Just during the last 2 years, I was very busy with my studies, but in this Yogi Teens program, the children practice yoga every day. They understand the importance of practicing meditation. They definitely learn Ayurveda, and in a much more profound and fun way. They also do some Ayurvedic cooking on the weekends. And the goal of this, teens are the future. Teens are the future for the better world. And it is this adolescence, this age, where there is so much hormonal crisis and changes happening. More than changes, actually there is crisis happening, because our modern lifestyle is not at all conducive for good health. We have to force ourselves to become healthy. So even that goes also for the kids. Long hours on the computer for them to sit, and you cannot control the good or bad association they can have even through internet, even if they don't go anywhere. And they are going to be gathering so much information, because their mind and intelligence is ready for the world. Even if you think they are not ready, they are ready, because the age factor, the hormones factor, they are getting ready. And they must, with the exposure of the world, they must be exposed to the science of yoga, so that when they get into the situations of life where they will be their decision making, ownership, teens, they will not listen to what you say. And sometimes teens will do the opposite, because you said, because pitta governs the stage of adolescence. So the childhood is kapha and the teenage is pitta. And then as you age towards 40, that's when you have all the joints and bones issue. So that stage is governed by vata. So even the stages of life are governed by the three principles, vata, pitta, and kapha. So it is this change of slowly becoming into adulthood. They need to have exposure to these wonderful sciences. And I have such mind-blowing responses, and children really absorb this to much more fun and understanding way than the adults do. Because why? Because when we are busy, we're so constantly being busy, adulting and living our life and responsibility and everything, we forget our childhood, we forget our inner childness that we had some time. And because we do that, we forget, we also have some difficulty connecting with our own children. So that is where I feel yoga and Ayurveda is very helpful. So my daughter is preteen pretty soon, and it's that 11 to 19 is where they can make some great decisions, and that'll be like something useful for the whole life. But what if they make some great decisions which does not serve their purpose, and they have a mistake which is going to give them consequences for whole life, something like that. God grace, nothing happened like that, but we see outside world. So it is the time that they really get exposed to this wonderful sciences, have a first-hand experience. So this is a certified 50-hour training that I do every year, and it's called as Yogi Teens programs, and it is conducted right now. On August 2nd it will be concluded, but this is an annual program that I conduct. And this is what we provide. This is short glimpse. We do few other things, but Ayurvedic consultations, we do yoga teacher training, teens 50-hour, then we have 21-day detox program, intermittent moon fasting, Chandrayanam. That is the actual Sanskrit Ayurvedic concept of doing the fasting, detoxing with the phases of the moon, which means you honor the phases of the moon in your lifestyle. So in Ayurveda, it is said that most of the disease are lunatic. The phases of the moon affects your mind so much. Even if you read Vedic astrology, the power of the mind is coming from the moon. So all the crimes usually happen during the new moon, or it's crazy things happened around that. Why? Because those whose moon or their mental soma is so depleted, and the negativity happens around that time as well. And then I also have one of the finest Ayurvedic apothecary in America. I do all organic ingredients, and I have some wonderful products. If you visit my website, you can learn more about it. And this is my contact number, email, and this is our website. And thank you so much for all the time. And I think I'll get into the chat. Then there are some questions, and we will address those questions.
Yeah, thank you, Sundari. Thank you for the informative session. When we are doing the pranayama, I feel like very, very calm. I feel it's like very, I'm enjoying that pranayama.
The calmness that what you are experiencing is that you are connecting with the soul. So breath connects the body and the soul. So we are constantly connected on the internet everywhere, but the dynamism of inner world is something very unique. So that is something should be done in the beginning of the day. And if you every day morning meditate and breathe, then the way you continue the rest of the day is on a different wavelength. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, madam. This is Jay Krishna. Actually, thank you for this wonderful session. It is very informative. I don't have much questions, but I have only one. I need only one suggestion because I'm 35-year-old. So last December, due to some health issues, I changed my complete lifestyle, like to do take detox drinks, to do diet, everything, protein food, everything, and do workouts at gym. So the thing is, like, I'm able to spend at least 1 to 2 hours in gym, but I was trying to do meditation, but I'm unable to concentrate at least 10 to 15 minutes. So how can we overcome? So how can we concentrate, like to do yoga at least 15 minutes or 30 minutes? Because I know about myself, because I'm able to concentrate. I'm able to spend at least 2 hours, minimum 2 hours in gym. So I'm happily doing the workouts, but I'm unable to do this yoga at least 10 to 15 minutes. I don't know why.
So aerobic and anaerobic. So when you're doing in the gym, the workout is very random. You can think something, you can hear a music, you can move the way you want. So basically senses, mind, intellect are all in all different directions.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
So it is good. Okay. In a way, at least I'm working out, right? In a way, at least I'm working out. So of course I see that as well. But the the idea is that even everything else in the life, like the pattern of the day goes like that, very external, constantly working. If you have an IT job, you're on the computer, and your mind and senses are not working for yourself. It's working for the purpose that you are engaged in the work. So here you have a lifestyle which is completely external. Like I was saying, it's so dynamic on the surface that it's getting difficult for you to tap into that aspect of meditation. But here the problem is you don't know the technique of doing it. Just like we did the mudra practice over here, we were aligning the breath and we were doing the mudras. And here it's a very subtle feeling. I didn't mention that in the practice. You also feel the pulse.
Yeah.
Some feel it, you could feel it. Okay.
Yeah.
Some feel it, and for some in the beginning, the shrotas, the energy channels are not so well active, and they don't feel it. So if you are able to feel that, so you have to develop a habit to do this as first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Before seeing the phone, everybody wakes up, first thing you see the phone,
Yeah,
messages.
exactly.
Okay?
I mentioned I changed my lifestyle, right? So I used to, I skip to check the mobile in the mornings and after I'm going to bed. So I skip that one. So, and when I do this pranayama and everything, at least 1 month, I feel like my heartbeat is properly. It went low. Means it went. It was very speed actually due to my stress and
Yes.
due to that one. But I practice pranayama, but after 15 to 3 weeks, I'm unable to concentrate. That is the only thing, but I will definitely overcome that in the coming days. Yeah.
Yes. So now in the morning you practice the mudras and just hear the sound of the breath. And moment you will have that flickering, thoughts will come. That's okay. Again, bring it to the breath, and again, focus on the sound of the breath. And then of course there are another deeper aspects of mantras and other no, but let first, the most powerful thing here in the beginning would be the breath, and then you connect with the breath and practicing the mudra, and like that you cultivate your ability of the mind to sit in meditation. And of course adding yoga and adding other elements slowly. But of course you're doing the gym for 2 hours, at least it is helping. But it is also because it is random, the activity, too much of it is also a little bit not considered very healthy for the heart, because constantly your heartbeats are raising. So when you do it, but then even after you do that, you have to have some ways that you calm your nervous system. So after you do the gym, you sit down in mudra, give that 5 minutes. Don't get on to another task with the iPhone or the work, because you already activated the hridaya, your pulsation, your diastolic, your systolic. Everything is hyperactive to meet the need of your external physical activity. So you also need to calm that system down over the long run, because then you tend to have the weakness of the heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for.
I'm 4 years old. Can I do yoga?
Yes, you can do yoga.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Not,
Can
not only preteens, you
best
have not only preteens, you have even the 4-year-old child wanted to yoga by hearing the session. That was very nice to know.
Oh, nice. And the kids, like, we assume that they don't listen or understand, but they do. They do absorb. That is nice. And how frozen food, red meat will be affecting our bodies. Of course, just like, you get a frozen flower for the puja. Although the flower didn't rot, but neither it has the vibrance, neither it has the fragrance. And it is completely drift of prana the rejuvenating the life force, so it is dead. So even the food is similarly like that, has no nutrition when it is frozen. It just didn't rot because it was temperature control, but it doesn't have the nutrition. So definitely it's something that everybody must consider taking fresh food. So one thing in Ayurveda, I do like workshops on Ayurvedic cooking. So even before telling you what to eat, how to eat, and all the other questions, the biggest um, Ayurveda recommends is eat fresh food. So that is our, in India, it's like we always cooked fresh food. Here we try to do shortcuts because we have a very haphazard, super busy life, but there is no shortcut to health. There is no shortcut to success. There is no shortcut to make career. We have to have our degree. We have to have our. So now even the health, we have to take fresh food. It's at least the vegetables don't get frozen. It's okay if you want to chop them and keep them ready, or you want to make a little batches that you can eat today and tomorrow because your schedule doesn't permit for you to open the kitchen every day and cook elaborate meals. But yes, eat fresh food every day. And red meat is not considered good. It is said, especially cow is one of the 7 mothers, and she gives us milk. And every part of the cow, like even the cow dung, it is said that in the stomach of the cow, and the food for the whole world is residing in the stomach of the cow, because whatever she eats, even her milk, nothing goes waste. Like you get the milk, you don't boil it, and it'll become that curdle thing, and then even that is used in different recipes. It becomes yogurt, that will be used. And if even the yogurt becomes sour, even that has a use because of its cultures. And even the cow dung, the cow gives, it becomes manure, and the plants, the agriculture, you have grains, you have dhanya to eat. So Srila Prabhupada, the founder of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, he said cow is the mother, and you can receive all much more benefits by serving her, because if you just take care of her, she gives you many fold, she gives you so much more. She gives, because when we give birth to our children, we feed them our breast milk for a year or 2 years, but after that they are grown on the cow's milk for the rest of the calcium and butyric acids that you get from the ghee. So it is much more economical, intellectual to protect the cows and gain much more health benefits than taking the red meat. And then it's also one of the leading cause for tumors and cancers, because our intestines are not meant to digest. And in the extreme situations, Ayurveda recommends the broth of the meat from the goat, not even the flesh so much in extreme cases. And 99% of your diet is mostly vegetarian and more plant-based. And then ghee is highly glorified, the purest high quality ghee. One of the leading causes, we were discussing about the gut health, and the gut health is determined by the availability of butyric acid in the gut health, and this is something naturally occurs in ghee. The butyric acid. So that's why in olden days, I remember my nanama and amama like used to make annam papu and then this gallop of ghee and mix it and give it to us, because gut is the health, and for the good gut, ghee is most essential. So what you need from the cows is the milk, yogurt, the cow dung, and you just need to serve the cows. We need to protect the cows, and red meat is not considered healthy as per Ayurveda. I hope humble way I just explained, not to impose any strict rules here, but just wanted to explain that.
Yeah, yes, Sundari. Yeah, I explained in a different good way. And we have one more question, like what is the sleep quota suggested in Ayurveda for individuals based on the body type?
Sleep quota.
Yeah.
So now, as per, we have different bodies, and we have also different occupations. We have different level of work that we need to do. So for somebody who is physically being more active as part of their occupation, you are a athlete trainer, you are a sports person and everything. So definitely, because of your muscles and your body being working so hard, your sleep hour will be a little more. You need like about at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And the standard amount, I would say, is 6 hour is minimum for sure. 6 hours of quality sleep, no matter whatever is your body type. 6 hours is needed for every body, may it be kapha, pitta or vata predominant. And sleep is considered the biggest, the most wonderful way to detox the body, because when you sleep, you rejuvenate, you break down, and the toxins also, the body is able to digest and throw them out very easily. That's why, to have a quality sleep, you also have to have a quality life schedule. So don't have heavy dinners. Like I was explaining that how lunch should be the major part of your meal. So dinner should not be the major part of the day, because there, if you see the nature, the sun is about to set, the birds are going back to their house, it's becoming quieter, because the sun is going down. The agni, the digestive fire within your body, agni, is also about to diminish. It's going to come to the, it's not, the fire is always there, but it kindles during the sun when it is up at the noon. It is sharp and it is good for digestion. But in the evening, you should have soups, you should have less grains, more vegetables. And if you're not big of a fan of having to cook, then have some milk with little ghee, pure grass-fed organic cow's milk, and you drink that. Milk is a sedative, it is a full meal. It is said that if you take milk, it's a full meal. You don't need a meal. You don't need sabji, like annam, this, you don't need it. Milk in Ayurveda is considered a full meal. That's why milk is not to be taken with the meals, because then you break down the complex nutrition aspect of the milk and you don't get anything out of it, and then you create indigestion, because milk is something which is needs a good digestion to digest. So that is one thing. So you plan your night, your good sleep, by planning the proper meal times, because body can do only one thing, it cannot do two things. Either it can digest or it can let you sleep. It cannot do two things. So if you are having a heavy meal, then you will also have very not a quality sleep, or too many dreams, or you get up in middle of the night, or you tend to you wake up very tired. I wake up, I'm feeling very tired, although I overslept actually. Why? Because there was this whole big thing that is happening within the body, whether to sleep or to digest, and then both don't happen as they should. So if you are if your job, if you're an athlete, if you're a sport person, then definitely sleep 8 hours, but then 6 hours of quality sleep, 6 to 7, is something that you should focus on. And have a sleep hour schedule, and do not have it interrupted with phone or having electronic gadgets close to you, because the radioactive waves. So that is something everybody needs to follow in this IT, AI, and everything is just becoming so much screen oriented. So as much as possible, de-screen, go on nature hikes, go on beautiful nature hikes, and like that. If you have sleep disorders, if you have insomnia, if you have bad dreams, then what is really disturbed is your air and ether space. And then when you go out in the nature, you are merging into this beautiful universal source of air and ether aspect of your space in your physiology. So you instantly balance them. And the more you spend time in nature, you will not need as much medication if you are taking any, and you will heal naturally.
Wow, that's great to know, Sundari. Yeah. I see you've been speaking from a lot of time, and I see I feel like you are so tired because you're constantly speaking.
That's
And
okay. Yes. So it was nice, and did I answer all the questions?
yeah, almost, yeah. Many people ask about how long we should meditate and how do we overcome distractions.
Start with 15 minutes of meditation and then slowly expand. And yeah, and that is all for today. If you have any comments, or is there anything more you would like to share?
One thing they want to listen is like how food and soul is different from the Vipassana meditation, because most of the people are doing the Vipassana, they were saying.
How is?
Vipassana meditation. Vipassana, they'll be doing like meditation. They without phones and all. They'll be doing like 10 days course, and right. So how this is different from the food and soul? That is what they were asking.
Food for the soul. Did you ask the question how asana and meditation is different?
Yes.
Okay, so as I explained, yoga is not just yoga. Yoga, they directly refer yoga as asana. So asana is one limb of yoga. So we have yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi.
So I wanted to add, question was about the Vipassana meditation, I think.
Yes.
Not the
Vipassana meditation. I do not know about the Vipassana meditation.
So what is that Vipassana meditation means? Like they will be not using phones. They'll be doing the without any external factors. They'll be going for the course for just 10 days, and they'll be back again to the normal life.
Oh, okay. So basically, you unplug from all the electronic gadgets, and you should do that even, that Vipassana, you should do it on your daily scale also. You set, okay, these many hours I'm going to be away from any kind of gadgets, and I'll be doing my meditation, I'll be doing my breath work, and I'll be going on a hike, sitting in the nature. And I think everybody should do that. I do it a lot of times. I take my children on a hike, and we spend time on the top of the mountain, and it is so healing, because you are connecting to the source. You're connecting to the earth, water, fire, air, and ether, the universal aspect, and you just balance without any medication, because you're connecting to the source of it. So I think everybody should do that. The first process of healing, I don't have time for Ayurvedic diet, I don't have time for this, that's the first thing that comes up, right? I don't have time. So now get time and spend time in nature and feel inspired, and then come back, and then you'll be inspired to cook Ayurvedic food and follow the yogic lifestyle, because the lack of inspiration of being constantly connected on the platform of all the gadgets is very effective on the vata, the mental aspect. So it gives you a lot more mental disorders. Actually, it makes you having brain fog, it disturbs your sleep, and it creates furthermore imbalances. And like I have clients, like they have to work so many hours in a day, and after they get off, they just have that brain freeze. I cannot think or work anymore, because it was so excruciatingly pulling, the essence of the day for the work. So you have to prevent that to happen by filling up your cup in the morning, not filling the cup with the coffee, but filling up yourself with your spiritual aspect of yoga and your breath work and all those sadhana that you do, so that your cup is filled. And then by the end of the day, you don't feel like all the essence of your life is extracted, and now it just can't do anything. So you need to do that. The word that Anna just mentioned, it is something that should be part of life, not that you go 10 days and then come back and fall in the same trap. You should be doing it consistently, so that create a life where you don't have to run away from it. You create a life where you can live it and live happily and peacefully. Because no matter what, whether you want to do or not, you have to work hard, but you have to also work hard in such a way that the health, consciousness, family, social life is all organically maintained and connected.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, thank you, Sundari. You almost answered every question that people ask. And
okay.
I see many people are interested to, do the yoga.
Yes. So you can visit www.foodforthesoul.net, and you can check out all the programs and classes and other things we offer. And my phone number, and should I put that screen back again for you to take a screenshot? If you want to, this is the contact information and my email address. And I'm very thankful to NAPA for conducting this nice opportunity to connect with the community. And I felt very happy. I speak on so many different platforms, but this was very heart touching to be among your people. And my father is a very very active in I'm from Mumbai, born and brought up in Mumbai. So very active in the Padmashali Samaj and all those programs, and doing active help like community matchmaking and financial business and supporting each other. So he's a people person. he's not a family oriented person. My father is like a very people person. So I think I'm going to share this information with him, and he would be happy that I connected with Padmashali Association here. And I really look forward, if you want to do something on monthly or bi-monthly and gather and to practice yoga and things like that, that will be something very nice to connect the community together, to bring awareness for health and wellness. And yes, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that was, you explained everything about the Ayur Yoga.
Thank you for the session.
Oh, thank you for joining.
Yeah. Today we all learn about the Ayurveda synergies and elements of Ayurveda and the roots, Kapha, Vata, Pitta that you mentioned. And the prayer, I think everyone mind was very fresh when they were doing that.
Thank you.
Like energized. Yeah, it was really a knowledgeable and interactive session, Sundari. We would like to thank for accepting the webinar from NAPA. So we blessed us NAPA to have, and NAPA is a great platform given by North American Padmashali Association. So I feel very thankful, for having you here, and I feel very privileged. And you are so patient, and you are answering all the questions which are by the clients. So thank you so much, Sundari. And the special thanks to our executive committee, BODs, CDs, RVPs from the different chapters, and not to forget our attendees and our friends and families. So this is a successful one. Yeah. Thank you once again. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Lata.
If you have any questions, you can always contact Sundari and I can put us on. I see Srinivas Saini has joined. So Saini garu, do you have anything with your Napa family?
Yeah, Dipti, I can't hear anything. Just listening. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. A nice job and thank you all. Thank you everyone. Thank you for the participants. So I think I hope everything went well. Malli manam idi telecast chesamu. We'll re-telecast. We'll repeat again and again. And it will be in our Napa TV channel on the YouTube channel. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Sundari, for your valuable time. And here I'm stopping the recording. Yeah, let's all disconnect from the session. Yeah, Srinivas Tatipamla, do you have anything to convey? Avni, or you can also talk.
Hi, he just left down. So we were getting ready for one event. Yeah, but it was a great event. Thank you very much for organizing, Dipti, and thank you very much, Sundari. You know, it was great to have you all, and definitely, you know, as Saini Anna told, you know, we'll be broadcasting this session to all our fellow NAPA members to, you know, to have, you know, let them have more knowledge about yoga and medicine. Can you talk, please?
Yeah, I think thank you, Dipti Garu, Sundari Garu. I think it was a good session. I think we should focus on more on healthcare and these type of items apart from finance and technical items. I think, you know, connecting to soul and managing our health is important. So this will be a good starting point for us to continue doing it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sundari.
Yeah, thank you.